Hey guys, welcome to Clockwork Noodles. Welcome back to a new season. It is fall 2023, baby. But we are back with a show that never really left the channel. It is Ancient Magus Bride Season 2 Part 2. That is a bit of a mouthful, but we are back. This is going to be episode 1 breakdown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and welcome back if you are back for another round of me breaking down this anime and stumbling over the word Philomela. That was my goal. I've gone away to improve myself on my pronunciation, but there is some really good stuff to break down this episode. Thank you so much for your continued support. If you are new, hello, welcome. I am Clockwork Noodles. I break down anime every single week. Generally, I just gush about visuals, music, what's going on in the plot, things that I find interesting. Sometimes I make predictions, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it just goes off the wall and I talk too much about me. You never know what you're going to get with this. If you are liking what you hear, or if you have been on a channel a little while, consider hitting the subscribe button because it really helps. Let's get on with the show, my friends. Obviously, last season I did state that I wasn't overly impressed. I can't remember what I gave it. Maybe I gave it a 7. I found it was a bit for Ancient Magus Bride. I've seen this anime do better. I've got hope that the second part's going to be better. Intro was essentially just a recap. We've got just talking about the fact that the school's been locked down. It does seem very Hogwarts style, where we know there's danger but you can't leave the premise. I get what they're doing. They're trying to work out if the culprit is present in the building or not. People are still kind of being affected because we see Lucy is still being drained at the end, so that might just be the after effects of the curse, whoever it was, and I have a feeling it was the grandmother. They're not present anymore. But then I've still got sus on Veronica. Something about Veronica, and I've got some stuff on Veronica this week as well that I want to mention. UK magic schools in general just not very safe. We do get a confirmation that the school is actually at the British Library. Don't think they gave it to us last time, but I know where this is and I can say that it looks pretty accurate. Despite having studied history and everything in uni, never actually used the British Library for anything. I should probably correct this at some point because I know there's a scene in Moriarty the Patriot with Albert and it takes place in the libraries. Maybe I will go there and I'll have to do a little bit of a video for you guys to show you the British Library. That would be fun. Let's talk about the OP. We'll say the OP is miles better than the ED. This is because we actually get a animated intro, very easy to outdo just credits. We have a theatrical element. I love the fact it is Elias opening the show and he ascends away. Chisei walks through seemingly our set. Everything is 2D. Really like this little effect there. You do see Philomela in a cage. We've got a lot of foreshadowing and the idea of being trapped. Lots of trapped going on. And most of the school is inside glass anyway because it's underground. Love the fact that it's just this theme of being constantly trapped. Philomela also being constantly controlled. I like the fact that she's locked away in her cage. It's got a bit of a Victorian comic book kind of feel to it. It feels dated, which is quite nice. Now Philomela comes to life when Chisei blows the potpourri all over her, which I think is really nice. It feels very fantasy fairy tale. I think it also works because she started to really open up through Chisei and it was nice to see her starting to come to life. She does actually talk quite a bit this episode, so some rare Philomela vocals this week. She wakes up and becomes real. She's no longer 2D anymore. She's animated. Now Chisei with the young classmates is nice as well. Everybody is happy. It could be foreshadowing the outcome that everybody's going to be getting on because Lucy and Philomela actually seem to be interacting quite friendly in this one. We don't know if that's just a choice they've made to show that Chisei is different because she's the only one there who's adult and everyone else is actually a kid. The first half is all happy, which is nice, but it does decide to pull the rug out underneath us. The second half of the song is dark, descends into darkness, chaos. We do see dark Chisei being teased, and I do seem to be hinting that at some point she's going to be running rampant. I can't wait. Do hope there's someone there who can stop her going crazy at the most. We get the visual of all of the kids being pierced by these vines, this darkness, as they are tangled up in a web, literally with the visual, which I think is really nice, showing that everybody is now trapped within something. We do see those vines this week, and I was excited because I like it when things do relate back to OPs. And there's also a hint as well at the ending, a big fight going on at the end. A nice visual. I really like the way that the OP rocks. I think the OP is strong and I like it, so it's going on a short list. The midways will include my top 3 OPs EDs. We'll be interested to see what we get this season because last season there wasn't too much going on, but I think there's some very good chances for good solid OPs EDs, especially with Spy X coming back as well. Go into quite a chill conversation. I don't have too much to say with the conversation that opens. Philomela, she's actually able to talk to everybody, which I like. I like it when she talks because it feels like she's making personal growth as a character. But she does give us the idea that she's there to serve Veronica. Now, I would say that Veronica is perhaps the character who seems important but has had no screen time whatsoever. This obviously feels like it's been done on purpose, but whether it's good or bad, not quite sure. Gave me bad vibes last season. I'm still getting bad vibes. I might be able to elaborate on that a little bit later on why I'm getting bad vibes from Veronica. But right now, she is the character we've had least amount of screen time from. We do get a very rare Veronica line this week, but it's only one line. So I think that's been done on purpose. They're teasing something. Now, the artificial fairy showing that AI really is taking over very, very slowly. She serves Philomela, who then serves Veronica. It's quite confusing. I want to speak to the manager on this. The conversation for me, not really much I want to say about it. It felt janky, it didn't really flow very well. There was lots of people just repeating other lines. I know that's an anime trope, but in general, this conversation didn't really get a high score on the writing for me. But I will say the conversation with Elias a little later on after this scene, that was very, very nice. It was so natural and I really enjoyed that conversation. The fairy herself seems pretty benign for now, so I don't have to worry about her. She also says that she's been trapped, which is interesting because she seems to have been made by a very powerful bit of magic, but she doesn't have much magic herself. Elias and working out that he actually might have friends was the conversation I was referring to when I said this feels amazing. This conversation is really nice. Any conversation with Elias, just amazing. The fact that he's starting to realise actually all this time I've actually had friends. I just didn't realise what the criteria for a friend was. Let's talk about some music because I love music, and the scene where we've got these golems parading around at night trying to monitor the hallways. Music is fantastic. We have lots of staccato being played on the violin, some piano mimicking that string motion as well. There's some low notes going on played. It just culminates and gives us a very nice atmosphere of anxiety, a bit nervous, I think feels tense, and obviously Chisei doesn't sleep very well. Very nice little sequence. Loved pointing out music when it comes to these things. Everyone now being cut off from the outside world is a bit concerning as well. Could you imagine being the parent suddenly losing contact with your child? I can't imagine that would go down very well with the school. I also do think that storing valuable items within a school is such a bad idea. I'm looking at you, Hogwarts. You did the same thing. Why are we storing very valuable items where there are young, vulnerable people there who don't know how to use their skills just yet? It just feels like you're asking for trouble. It feels like we should have a security vault somewhere else just dedicated to looking after these things. If they get targeted, there's no young lives in the way. I did recognise Zach's VA. He's not credited, which is really irritating, but I am 100% it's Saitama from One Punch Man and Sherlock from Moriarty the Patriot. Just got a vibe, so if anyone can confirm down below, I feel like I'm right on this anyway. I love the VA. I think it's very nicely handled. Zach is such a cool character as well because he's doing everything in a very dark manner. He seems to be the Professor Moody of this one. The way that he sets it all up, you know he's doing it for a good reason. He's trying to get everybody to protect themselves, develop combat skills, but he's doing it in a very bad way, which I like. Interesting to watch, and again, he gets this dark visual and, oh, he must be a dark character. We thought that already, and he already proved that he's not quite a dark character. He's grey. He's in that morally grey zone as well. The vines I love because, again, it was a nice link to the OP, which, you know, guys like me, I love things when they link. It would seem that everybody now getting trapped again is that ongoing theme of people being trapped within this anime in general. This quite nice defense against dark arts kind of section where everybody is being trained in combat, which is very important, especially if you've got somebody on the loose who is attacking people. It makes sense why you would have this kind of lesson. Obviously, he goes about it in a very bad way. He tries to strangle someone. Pretty sure there's a tutor, actually Moody again, who ends up strangling a certain ferret. Try not to make too many parallels because I actually don't want to be bringing that author up at all. There's a lot of nice parallels. I'm trying to focus on just the anime itself because it is its own property. The rune was seen in the OP. Love it when things end up tying up. I like the lesson that is being taught by Zach. It's sometimes faster to rely on physical than magic. You do see this in games as well, where there's always a wind-up time on the mage. So it's not always best to go in using magic wielder because they have a time limit on spells. You've got to wind it up and you just stand there whilst there's people charging you. Often enough, especially in like Genshin Impact, because I'm playing it so much right now, all of my team uses swords. I did realise this recently. I was like, oh, everybody is a sword user. Noodles has just dropped and I have got him, and that's Levi from Attack on Titan. He is actually a catalyst user, so maybe for the first time I'm actually going to go into the realm of being a mage. But I love the fact that this is the bottom line that Zach is playing into, that, you know what, you guys aren't ready yet to be able to play with sorcery because you're not fast enough. And sometimes it really is just better to protect yourself manually. I love the fact that he tells the class, picture a weapon, and 2 students think of a spade. I understand you can use a garden spade as a weapon, but it's made out of clay. And the first thing you thought about when we say weapon is a spade. As we've proven, I probably would have thought of a sword because I seem to be obsessed with them. Now, Chise's curse, I thought it was a very fun little moment because she realizes her body knows how to act. She's not really fully in control. Her body knows how to become a battle beast. It is low-key being hinted that the dark side's going to take over this season, and I'm really all for it because I want to see her in action. But I just hope that there's those morals still there because Chise has morals. The darker side probably doesn't have the same morals as she does. So it'll be very interesting to see how and when that comes out. Philomela has that potential admirer. I would like to know if there's going to be a face reveal at some point because I bet it's going to be important. For now, no face reveal. Or if there has been a face reveal, I haven't caught up on that. Would be interesting to see if we get one. We do get that reminder that Veronica, and I'm there for serving, but she does take down her beast quite quickly. Why no screen time for Veronica? You're just making me more and more sus. We do see her in this actual sequence, and we do get one line at the end, but again, you don't really focus in on how she fights or anything. Chise using a staff with the weapon, very nice touch. It looks exactly like her wand. Absolutely love the team up between her and Rion. I thought that was nice. I thought this fight was generally nice. Zack is confirmed to be a Tyrannid from Warhammer. I love those little like mandibles on his back. Dark Chise just giving us that little hint. She gets blocked by the teacher coming out to interrupt the fight, but we seem to be saving that reveal for a little bit later on. I get it. Tease us, keep teasing us that there's something darker within Chise that's going to pop out at some point. Chise and Rion lie about being scared was hilarious, and also getting called out because they do it because they notice everyone else has put their hand up and they're like, oh, we should probably put our hands up. And then obviously if they get called out, that was really, really nice as well. Bottom line of today's episode is that you don't really have time to jump to magic as your defense. You have to be ready, and often enough that is physical combat. It's going to be your friend. And I love the fact that as well he's saying that you shouldn't hesitate because that's going to cost you your life. All these combat skills are going to be vital in this part. I can sense it because there's going to be a fight coming up because the OP told me there's a fight coming up. We do get some very rare Veronica lines as she tells her to go to the nurse office, but you also see Philomela when she's on her own saying, don't want to go to the nurse office, which makes me think, was it or was it not? Veronica's family, who are apparently knee-deep of their hands in all the pies in the medical business. Is there a possibility she is evil? She doesn't want to go to the nurse office because she knows it's going to make her more sick. Maybe there's something going on and she doesn't want to go to the nurse office for a reason. She seems very adamant to deal with things on her own. Veronica's family is known to be in the medical industry or the pharmaceutical industry. Is there a connection here, or am I just imagining things? Probably the latter. It's cider, the old British cider on the table. This is a brand, guys. The logo is correct. The alcohol percentage is correct. It's actually a very nice cider. So if you're ever in the UK, fully recommend it because it's here on the screen. I really hope you're sponsored by cider, but I doubt you are. Very nice to see it. I've had it before. Very nice cider. The white-haired dude at the end who's been hired for a lot of money does seem to look like the back of the head of the guy who made the AI fairy. Whether they're connected or not, don't know. Just I see white hair and I think white hair. Okay. The ED is just roll credits, guys. I don't have much to say about the ED. I don't think it's very strong. It's not going to go on the shortlist for ED or anything. Everyone really just has their back to the audience or they're very far away. Then we hit the main characters. They are central screen. Everyone's basically chilling out at the end. The OP is just generally better. The song really fits the theme and the vibe. But there's not a lot I really want to say with it. I would say that the song ends on a few bars of Greensleeve, and we are literally outside the Tower of London, which I think is a very nice connection to the Tudors. Greensleeve was a song made by Henry VIII. I like the Greensleeves right at the end in a few bars of that. Very, very nice. We'll probably have to hear the full song at some point to see if they actually have Greensleeves a bit more embodied in the song. So that is my breakdown for this episode. I thought it was a strong episode. I really hope we actually have an improvement on last part, because last part was slow, a bit meandering. I didn't really like the pacing very much. I just hope they fix the pacing. That was perhaps my biggest issue with the first part. So if you're going into fights and things, probably are going to be a bit more fast-paced. I have all the hopes in the world that this anime can lift itself up back to greatness again. But thank you guys for tuning in. You will have to let me know in the comments below if you are back and you saw the original breakdowns of mine, or you're just finding me for the first time. So say hi. We'll see you guys soon for another video. I believe we've got one in 2 days coming out. Cannot wait to break down a whole new season with you. Thank you so much and look after yourselves. Bye bye.